Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So traders, let's have a look at what's been going on with the stock market, and let's actually see what's likely to happen moving forward. Now, here's the really interesting thing. I'm going to look at the technicals and have a bit of a technical basis of what's going on right now in the markets. And then also I'm going to add a bit of fundamental analysis of what I think is happening on the big picture. And I need to take a breath. Why we are in the middle of something. We are in the middle of the big boom and not a crash to come. So is a top in place? Let's actually see what's going on right now when it comes to all the indices. Let's start off. I've got an interesting chart I want to share with you when it comes to the Nasdaq. But let's actually start off with the Dow Jones first. Let's zoom in just on a quick, on a short-term basis. So let's go to the last sort of 6 months here. Let's go to the last 6 months, last bit more than 6 months. And now we're looking at the last sort of 6 months here on the Dow Jones. And we can see how that on a short-term basis, we are still above this major significant trend line. Now we are continuing to make higher lows in the markets. All right. So on a technical basis, as long as the market continues to make higher lows, then guess what? The market's in a bull trend. All right, the top's not in. And I was actually saying to my private clients last week that the top's not in. Right, we are not in the top of the market, not yet. Right. On a technical basis, I said that because guess what? On a technical basis, what is the whole saying? Right, it's like the trend is your friend until the end. Right, don't trade against the trend, so on and so forth. So what is the trend? The trend is higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And this is what the market does, right? It gives you a pullback here and it gives you a pullback here. It's like, oh, especially Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq pulled back quite strongly last week. And then guess what? They got people freaked out, didn't it? But if you just focus on what the market is telling you, then guess what? Then the charts are saying, oh, look, we just made another high low. And the market does that. The market just has, if you're looking at the chart basis, the market does these pullbacks here, these pullbacks here, these pullbacks here, these pullbacks here to start to freak people out. Now, something else could change into it. And then as the days go on with the charts, we need to reassess and go from there. All right. It's one of the big things that most traders have, especially in today's age, is that they're trying to find the perfect scenario of a guaranteed in the markets. The way that trading works is, guess what? You have patterns that you trade, and when you trade, that pattern has a probability. There's no certainty, and people have a hard time understanding this. All right. So, but the probability is what? And until we start making higher lows, the trend is your friend until the end. And if we have a look what's happening right now, we can see that the trend. We have let's actually do this here. That's the last significant low. This was the last significant low. So it ran up, made a lower high, higher low, came up, made a higher low. So this is the last significant higher low, ran up, came back down. Oh, look, what do we create now? This is now what? Another higher low in place. So we are continuing to make these higher lows, and this pullback here was just get people going crazy. So Dow Jones still in very thumbs up mentality. S&P 500, same situation, right? The trend is your friend until the end. Don't fight the trend. And just because we get a little pullback and you hear the BS media start to ramp up, especially if you're listening to your mate Harry Dent, he's still calling the top. He's still trying to find a top. No, Harry, no. Right? Yes, we can get corrections, but seriously, look at this. All right, I'll get to the fundamentals in just a minute. All right, but look what's happened here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. The trend is your friend until the end. Market rallied up, came up and down. Now look at this here. Another higher low. So has the market changed? No, we've just continued to go through. And this is what the market does once again. When we start to get these pullbacks, people freak out. But remember, as long as we continue to make these higher lows, right, sideways, up, and then pullback. As long as we continue to make these higher lows, that's where the thing. Now, the warning sign will be, now, if this turned into something like this where the market rallied up and then we started to roll over like that and broke this low here, now we're talking, okay, now on a short-term basis, we can see that the market is starting to roll over a little bit. But then there's another layer of analysis when it comes to the markets as well too. So whether this is going to be short-lived or not is probably determining on the weekly chart as well too. So if the weekly chart starts to roll over, I won't confuse you here, but if you combine that with the weekly chart is the most important when it comes to trend analysis, right? So never trade against that sort of weekly trend there. And on the Nasdaq, what's the Nasdaq been doing? Now the Nasdaq's been hit pretty hard, hasn't it? Now let's actually see what's been going on. The trend is your friend until the end. Okay, let's have a look at this here. What do we have here? We have, not here. We have the low right there. We have the higher low right there. And we have the higher low right there, right? So we are still creating, this is a slight higher low. Now, granted, it's not a strong higher low. So there could be, something else could be forming here. But right now, as I speak, and in 2 days time frame, I could come back and say, you know what, looks like we may be starting to roll over here. But right now, as I speak, not based on what I think or what I hope or what I'm fearful of or what the so-called professionals do, even what I say, who gives a cram right ass peanut butter on carrot sticks, right? What I say, peanut butter on carrot sticks. Where the hell did that come from? Anyway, type peanut butter and carrot sticks if you like that. What I say, right? Because it's like as long as the market continues to make higher lows, but it's not until the market breaks those lows that we are in big trouble. Let me take you back to the whole vid situation last year, right? The vid. What happened to the vid? Look at this here. What do we have here? This was the last low. We had a rally up and then a pullback. We made a what? A slight high low. Then we rallied up and then pulled back. Guess what? That's the low right there. Okay? Right there. That's the low. And then we rallied up. So as long as we make higher lows, guess what? Who's in control? Buyers. Now, what happens if we break the lows? If we break these lows, which is right here, if we break these lows right here, right there, if we break that low, guess what? Now, the buyers are no longer raising their prices, right? We're no longer making higher lows. So the market's telling you this is now a potential trend change warning, right? A potential trend change warning. What do we need? What do we need now? We've made a broker low. So this will be the time where we start to get a bit of a warning sign if the market is going to crash, if the market's going to top out, blah, 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 blah. Okay? What do we now need? We now need a lower high, don't we? Where market runs up, comes up, oh, rallies up. Open charts up a bit more. Comes up, rallies down. Now this is the Nasdaq, and same with the Dow Jones as well too. Rallies down, comes back down. There we go, boom, right? So there we go. From here, now, what do we have here? We now have a lower low compared to this low, a lower high and breaking down. Now we're not on an upward trend anymore, are we? We're like higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So, but then we have a higher low, then we break down, and now we're likely to roll over. So if we are potentially looking for a potential top in the markets, guess what's the first thing for the warning sign on a technical basis? It's going to be It's going to be what? It's going to be a breaking of the low, or it's going to be a lower high breaking past previous lows. And then guess what? Then you start to see, then the market starts to sell off quite strongly, and then the market does what it does. Make sense? So right here, this point right here, as soon as we close below the low, right there of that last significant low, that's the warning sign to say things are changing, right? Potentially changing anyway. But we need a lower high breaking past previous lows. So right now we have a higher low, and then now we're having a higher low through here. So we still could be getting a bit of a trend. There still could be a trend change warning. So we need to keep an eye on that. But until that happens, guys, okay? But also on the big picture when it comes to the Nasdaq, guess what? Now the big picture, this powerful pattern, look what we're having here. Let me take you off the screen. Look at this powerful ascending triangle. Now, just because it's an ascending triangle pattern, now if you guys don't know what ascending triangle pattern is, an ascending triangle pattern is where it just squeezes up where we're making these high lows, but we're having a lot of resistance through here as well too. All right. Now, just because we have an ascending triangle pattern doesn't mean it's going to be bullish. Now, if we do hold here for a while, for another month or two, and then break above 14,000, guess what? It's on like Donkey Kong for the bulls. On like Donkey Kong for the bulls. So on a technical basis, guys, we're bullish. Now, even if we did start to get a little bit of a short-term or even more of a sell-off at the market, guess what? Look at the fundamentals. So much liquidity in these markets, guys. So much liquidity. We have never seen a situation. If we're comparing this to 1929, we didn't have this much stimulation in 1929. And look what happened in 1929. Look what happened leading up to 1929, right? We had a couple of year massive bull market. Whoa! And then and guess what? And guess what was the warning sign for the bubbles going to start to prick in the markets? Two things: breaking of lows, in technical basis, but also secondly, when they started to raise rates. They started to raise rates 1 year prior. It was around 1929. They raised rates all through 1928, and that's what pricked the bubble. So as soon as they start to raise rates here, that's the first warning sign that things are starting to potentially slow down. That's your first warning sign if you're looking for a fundamental thing. Okay. Now, if that doesn't happen, then if we're comparing this to the tech bubble, all right? This is nothing compared to the tech bubble, right? Interest rates weren't this low in the tech bubble, and it wasn't this much stimulus in the tech bubble. So right now, if you're comparing this right now to the tech bubble, this bubble, by the time it pops, is going to be so much bigger than the 2000 bubble and also, the 1929. So we're in the middle. I think we're like halfway. Well, I think we're like halfway there. So even if we get some short-term technical pullback, guys, on a fundamental, I see this thing, we're halfway there, and the heat is about to get even more on the upside. Hey traders, John Howell here. Thanks for watching my video. For a limited time only, I am giving away free access to my brand new trading course. I've put all my most powerful systems, strategies, and trading techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years and put it in this course, and I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. See, in this brand new Go to the Markets by the Board trading course, and you can get it when you go to johnsfreegift.com, you're going to learn, firstly, you're going to get access to a brand new training course for 90 minutes, and you're going to learn all the details step by step to my #1 trading system with over a 90% success rate that works on any market and any time frame. You're also going to learn 3 powerful chart reading and trading techniques. You're also going to learn 2 more powerful trading systems, and also you're going to learn 7-figure trading secrets, mindset techniques, and so much more. There's top 13 mistakes you're going to learn, the 10K per month formula, and so much more. No, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but if you are struggling with your trading right now and you need help, then for a limited time, you can get free access to this. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now, or click on the very first thing in the description, because for a limited time, I'm giving away. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now and start getting access to this full complete trading course, plus also the free training with my #1 trading system with over 90% success rate. Go do that right now, and I'll see you on the next page.